Well, we still have batteries. I'm going to make a rhubarb pie today because I picked some rhubarb, and I'm going to do it in this old tabletop pie plate. I bought this today from a lady on eBay in town, and I just went over and picked it up, and because it was in the condition I wanted to show you. It is well used, even beyond the kitchen. Who knows what they used it for? It has, like, I don't know what's on it. But what happens with tinned aluminum? See, this is, I don't know if you can see that. The tin is still in the words, but nowhere else. So now this is just a steel pan, and it'll work fine. You just have to treat it like a steel pan, which is almost like seasoning it. Somewhere I have, it's hot because I'm seasoning it. Oh, that's fine. This is a steel frying pan. You can see that. It's a steel frying pan, and I'm re-seasoning it because I keep trying to get it to an even seasoning. I'm getting so much faster at changing that battery. So this is, you've seen these in the old-time movies. I mean, old-time, 19th century movies, the prospectors or whatever. Nobody really wants to carry cast iron around, so everybody had the stamped steel, which was weighed less and thinner, and you just treated it the same. It doesn't hold the heat as long, and it gets hotter faster because it's not as thick as, it's not for slow cooking. It's for frying up your bacon and eggs, and this is just for frying eggs. But I find it's really good for hash browns. But basically, you treat it just like cast iron. You season it. Now, these probably, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna take that back. Yeah, you're probably gonna have to season this, but right now this is filthy. I have no idea what happened, what it was used for. It could have just been, hanging around decoratively. So what I want to do is I'm going to clean it, and then we're going to cook in it. Just an FYI, these are not aluminum. These are obviously tinned steel. There really is no reason to tin aluminum. But the way you can tell a pan that is not marked, or you don't know, because I picked this up the other day and I was going to make my pie in this. I used to have all these pans, and then I got rid of them. And I meet people who swear by glass, and I'm like, I like it for casserole. I don't like it for I think we're doing a crispy crust. It comes out soggy. It just doesn't, there's a different chemicals. But anyways, different chemistry. But I picked this up, and I was like, what is this? It is a steel, professional steel grade pie plate. It has that little holes on the bottom. I like getting a crispy crust. So you get something like this. How can you tell? Magnets. More science. Magnets. That's steel. Magnets. That's steel. Even with the tin on it, it's going to do that. These are tart pans. Tin. Some of them got a little corrosion, a lot. I mean, there's a certain point, as long as it's not rust or food, I'm kind of indifferent to the little corrosion on it, because it's, that's what the charm is of using the older ones, and that's how I know what it is. But this is, there we go. It is tinned steel. Some are more tin, some are less. Eventually, we'll get to stainless steel. We won't have any tin. Now, these are cake plates, cake layer cakes. And there's a slight color difference, and the steel weighs more than aluminum, so if you had one of each, you could tell, and that's why I know that I was holding this. I'm like, if this was made of aluminum, it would weigh so much less. But this is steel. That is not. That is just going to do that. So the Wilton layers, they come in as Daddios, I think. They come in a range of sizes. They're wonderful products. I like them because they're extra deep and they have this nice roll on them, and they don't warp. So you can get lots and lots of cakes out of them. I really like them for certain things. And then I like to steal it for other things. Because I'll actually roast in this and do, you can do more high temperatures with this. High temperature in aluminum, problematic. It may burn because this is a lower burning point. It may warp. It'll stain leaves. I don't want to spend the rest of my life scraping burned gook off of aluminum. So, like I said, that's how you tell with a magnet. Okay. I was going to use that one until I got this one. And the amount of tin on it, it does not really affect the cooking. It's going to cook the same. It's just, you just have to care for it differently. That's what the tin is there for. It's not there to improve the cooking. Now let me just get my weapons. Hold up. Okay, I have an array of tools. Not everything is necessary. I just wanted to show you. I mean, if you come up with a couple of methods that work fine for you, I mean, as it is, if you took the food off this, you can just use it just fine. Just grease it, you're good to go. But in between times, you don't want the rust to build up because then it gets worse and it eats the pan. And then you spend the rest of your time cleaning it. I see a slight discoloration. This was probably overheated at some point. That also does not affect what we're going to use it for. It would affect, it would create a hot spot on a stainless steel pan when you overheat it, but not so much this for the purposes. So go to for 99% of everything you're going to do, baking soda. Start off with that. That'll get rid of the surface dirt, the surface stuff, whatever we need to get done. Baking soda is baking soda. Arm & Hammer has a pretty packaging and lovely marketing. It's still baking soda. It's when you get to something that's chemically no different from anything else. It's baking soda is baking soda, vinegar is vinegar. Getting any bread doesn't really accomplish too much. Hey, do what you want. This pan is not going to get shiny. It is not going to, I'm not doing a before and after thing that's going to be magically better. I mean, it's just going to be slightly better, but what will happen is we will use it and it won't get any worse. So, there was something on the side which I thought was cellophane tape. I still think it's cellophane tape. I cannot tell. I'll pull out the lighter fluid just for a second. See if we can get that off. It's not cellophane tape, but I don't know what it is. Yes, elbow grease is a lot of fun. Get a workout. It's great. Well, didn't do any good. So it's not cellophane tape. The lighter fluid, which is 100% naphtha, will dissolve acrylic adhesives. No scratching, no nothing. You pour it, you put it on, scrape it off with your fingernail. You don't even, I don't want to say good to go all day long. Don't even, try 15 other things to be wrong with it. What happens is they have side effects for the things that are not glass or metal. So, and lighter fluid is just way cheaper. You can find it anywhere. So, I'm getting down to the rusty bits. What's left of the rusty bit. One of the things I really like to use is molasses, especially in conjunction with water, because it has chelating agents which draw the rust away and makes the rust water soluble, and so the water fills with rust, and the rust, I have a bucket in the other room with rusty things soaking, but for this particular case it's not enough rust to bother with. If it was something that you really liked and you want to keep using it, go for it. Molasses and water, what we're going to do is step up to after the baking soda, because now I've I can see what's there, what won't come off, what will come off, and I want to do is get into an even coloration so that when we start seasoning, I want to put oil on it. It's nothing blocking it. So I'm going to Bon Ami, which is a little bit more abrasive. Obviously it has natural abrasives in it, limestone, feldspar, so forth, so on. It is the first step beyond baking soda as far as stepping it up to clean something and get rust out of it. And basically, if you this is a grill pad or a scrubby brush, if you just jump right to grinding stuff, you're taking away metal that you don't really need to take. So using some Albani and crevices, cracks, the edge. I'm going to flip it over in a second. Yeah, I know I'm making a big mess, and I'm going to wash the mess, my mess. And I happen to have a kitchen table I can do that with. It's one of the reasons I bought it. I think I got it at a Restore. before I moved, or while I was moving, and it is just the perfect size. And because it is already corrupted, I could basically take an engine apart on it. I'm very happy with that stuff that's already messed up, so I don't have to worry about what I'm going to do with it. Okay, around the edges with some bonami. So we're going to get corrosion down, the rust down, just get it down to, basically what we want is steel and tin, and I don't care what color they are. Nothing that shouldn't be here. The rust and corrosion that is built up on the steel needs to go away. Even if you took a power tool to this with steel wool, brush it, all you're going to do is wear a hole in the metal. It's kind of like, that's just overindulgence, over bother. It's not going to happen. And just in the back. What's wrong with this pan is not really food related. I think somebody was using this for use it was not constructed for. Oh, the bottom is shining up. The bottom is not as heavily used as the top. I think there's still tin on the bottom. And it's kind of reversed. There's tin on the inside in the embossing of the letters, and on the back, there's tin where there's no embossing. Where the embossing was touching the counter, there's no tin. So, somebody was using this somewhere, maybe under plant. I don't know. It doesn't have the right amount of line scale built up for that use, but the tin ends right at the edge. That's pretty funny. So. I told the woman when I bought this, I said, no, you don't understand. I want it to look like that. It's the one I want. So basically I can do this to it. Yeah, it's starting to shine up. We're shining the steel. We're getting the black off of it, shining the steel. And I think we've kind of hit a stopping point for anything that shouldn't be there. So the next thing I would do if I really want it to look nice, I don't really care about looks, but Barkeeper's Friend, which is a little bit better for metals where you can get it to a highly polished. I mean, it doesn't do any good to polish aluminum. 2 seconds later, the bare aluminum is going to oxidize, and it's going to get that patina again, which it's supposed to have. So, but other things, especially if you want to, start oiling something, so you're kind of sealing it away from further corrosion. The Barkeeper's Friend has it has a similar ingredients as the Bonami. It has the feldspar. It has the abrasives. But then it goes one step further, and they have a small percentage of oxalic acid. Oxalic acid will derust. I know there's a word for that. In fact, I use lots of oxalic acid, which is poisonous, and I don't recommend you use it for anything. But I buy it in bulk when I'm derusting bicycles and stuff like that, when I'm impatient and I make a big bath of it, and then a little bath of it, and then put the chrome pieces in it, the chrome wheels and stuff, and it works very, very fast. Because I really just want the rust off the chrome. But anyways, it has a certain amount of polishing agents in it, which is why it's called Barkeeper's Friend. It's very good for things that are brass and bronze and stuff that should have a shine on it, especially if you're going to lacquer it or coat it afterwards, so it makes, if it's going to just get dirty again, your heart's not in it. But like I said, there's nothing left on this thing except thing. So I really wouldn't want to scrape off the tin. So basically, if this was in better condition, I would have stopped at baking soda. Basically baking soda, let it sit, come back, the next morning, and then do this, and that'd be done. That's it. This is totally unnecessary just because you're here. So I'm going to rinse it. Hang on.